Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 8 of the Daz Sports Podcast. Today, it is just me and Phil. Jamar is in Maryland. Um, our stepdad is doing a bike ride, 1,000 miles for 1,000 lights for Watts of Love, and they finished up today. So he's still down there with them doing that. Me and Alexia and the baby were up there yesterday, or down there yesterday at the brewery, hanging out with everybody. So um, he's not going to be on today. But that being said, we still got to do the podcast. We're here. We're live. Not live. We're recording. But the podcast goes on, baby. Phil, how was your weekend?
Man, my weekend was good. I'm a college football guy, so it was a lot of good games on. And man, I'm more excited for this weekend because college football's ramping up, but so is the NFL. Man, the matchups are actually starting to get. Not gonna. I mean, we started off with divisional matchups, so I can't say that wasn't bad, but you know what I'm saying. Now we're starting to get the identity of teams. Injuries are going to have teams schematically change up to see if they could win or eh, they might lose doing that. Um, you know, it was a good weekend. I hung out with my wife, hung out with my daughter. That's just regular stuff. So
There,
man, how
there,
was your
there,
weekend? I know
there,
you told us a little bit about
there was somebody else that you hung out with over the weekend.
bro. I was gonna. All right, so before Colin gets in his feelings, my friends, I was gonna bring it up on the Friday pod because that was more college football related. But I did hang out with my boy Colin.
Okay.
That's why I said we was watching college football. But nah, he's right. He was hanging out. We was watching. We was again not trying to cross the pods. I do want to apologize, saying Clemson money line, but I did talk about the head coach of Syracuse, Fran
He
Brown,
did
being a
say, he
dog.
did say, he did say, um, Syracuse money line was the way to go. However, you know what? We'll save that for Friday because that's college
That's what I'm
football.
saying. But
That's
I,
college
I say
football.
all that to say, yeah, I did hang out with my boy Colin, man, and that was part of my weekend. Basically, man, I'm a family guy, so I was hanging out with family people.
You did say you were hanging out with your family, so I'm included.
There you
Not mine was
go.
good.
There you go.
Yesterday I had the day off, so we went down to Maryland, drank some beers, ate some pizza, hung out with everybody. But
Awesome.
weekend, was full of football and hanging out with the regular people, mainly my wife and child and my boy Phil over here. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, I want to say I'm not surprised you went down to Maryland, go support your family, cause I probably would have took off from work too if my team won in a very, very lucky and exciting fashion. And that's something I want to segue right into. Guys, we're
exciting.
gonna talk about no, lucky first, lucky, but it was exciting at the same time. You know,
No,
um,
it's not lucky because my quarterback fucking does this. My quarterback can
no.
throw
I'm
when he
talking
needs
about
to
towards
throw.
the we're not. We'll
Oh,
get to the
oh,
game.
oh,
How
oh,
you
the
guys?
field goal. Okay.
Oh, I should. Yeah, you know what? That was like a poor choice of words because You guys didn't win the game. By that I would say you guys. Uh, you guys closed the door shut on any Rams chances of winning. With that blocked field goal attempt, scoop and
Two,
score. No,
back
I
to
know you
back blocks.
back, but this one was the scoop and score that
Yeah,
to
big
like
boy.
solidify.
We
Like,
big boy touchdown alert.
man, I know you got them stats up for us. I know you got some stats up for us because before we get into this, I know Jamar is
Missing
probably
out, missing
hate
out.
he
He's
hates
he's
that
kicking
he
himself.
hates that he gets to miss the opportunity to talk a little smack to me a little bit because if you guys been tuning in and please continue to tune in, I've been a little bit of a hater of how the Eagles been moving on offense, more specifically the lack of passing game. Colin, go ahead and tell me how that passing game was rocking and rolling this past
Listen,
weekend.
listen. I'll give it to you. First half, -1 passing yards. Everybody, brother, I almost was on that train. I almost hopped on the train of
Right.
why aren't we passing? What's going on with Jalen that our offensive coordinator isn't calling the pass? You know, we all saw what Saquon did last year, but at the same time, now do we want a passer that's throwing the ball 40 times a game, putting up 40K on the season or 4K on the season? Of course. Why wouldn't we? My man still threw almost just under 3K yards last year, 18 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He's not a Joe Burrow. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Patrick Mahomes. We don't need that in Philly. We
He's not a
need that.
Daniel Jones.
You're right. He's not. He's way better.
For the sake of
Um, what we look for is the lack of turnovers. Threw 5 interceptions last year. No fumbles lost in the regular season, at least. Well, maybe not in the postseason either. But I only have. Oh wait, here we go. Postseason. Even in the postseason, 5 touchdowns thrown, 1 interception, no fumbles lost. That is what wins football games. That and having a great defense. But the defense didn't really do their job in the first half either. Now, is that the offense wasn't producing, so the guys were a little discouraged? Could be, you know. So I wish I could see
Lane
half by
Johnson
half.
went down in the game
Who?
in the beginning, right? Lane Johnson.
Yes,
He
Lane
went
Johnson.
down in the
Lane
beginning.
Johnson went down in the first quarter, didn't return,
You can
and
attribute that to the slow start. Like that's probably
absolutely,
one of the
because
reasons why Eagles had a slow start in offense.
his replacement was Tyrell Pryor. Who the fuck is it? I'm over him. That Matt Pryor, who's supposed to be the backup
Yeah.
right guard, not a right tackle. But then, I don't know if Pryor got injured, if we said enough is enough, get the fuck out of the game. But Fred Johnson, who came in last year when Mailata got hurt, balled out, did his job. Why the first thought wasn't, hey Fred, go do what you do, protect that right side, is beyond me. But you saw him come in, shut that side of the ball. You know what it probably was? It was the fumble. I think after that fumble, they pulled Pryor and put in Johnson, which, like I said, lights out. If I don't know if Lane was on the injury report today.
He did not participate in practice today.
As of today, the only people on the list are Jahad Campbell, Zach Baum were both questionable.
Or maybe. So he practiced. I thought he didn't
It
practice
looks like
today.
it. Probably should have done this beforehand.
It seems like if he did participate at all, it was in limited action. That's what I
Yes,
have.
correct. Yes, he was limited. Zach Baum
But he
did
was
not practice
trending
with
in
a
the
knee.
right direction.
Of
Y'all.
course, but
That's what it says.
as we see, as of the second half of the game, if Fred Johnson has to play, me personally, I'm more than confident in his ability to hold it down. Now, some sad news. We had to put 3 players on IR today. Nolan Smith, Jacorian Bennett, and Darius Cooper. It's unfortunate, Nolan was having a decent year so far, but we signed Marcus Epps, Cameron Latou, and Perry Nickerson to the active roster. I was high on Nickerson in training camp. I told you guys I got his glove at the end of the open practice. We also signed, and Lord save us, he better stay on the practice squad. But we signed linebacker Lance Dixon, cornerback Eli Ricks, and Mr. I have no hands and drop the ball or fumble, Quez Watkins.
Oh man,
Uh,
man.
we're going to leave that
But yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Not saying the guy can't play, but hopefully we see him stick to the practice squad for the foreseeable future. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. Like I said before, Jalen Hurts and that offense had -1 passing yards in the first half. Jalen Hurts ended the game 21 of 32, 226, and 3 passing touchdowns. QBR of 66.3, whatever. We didn't need him in the first. We definitely didn't need him in the first half, but whatever. Ended up with a 66.3 QBR, but a 117.4 rating. Now, to go along with that, he also had 9 rushes for 40 yards. Finally, Saquon led the team in rushing. Not by much, but 18 for 46. Again, Jalen Hurts said it in the post-game interview, I think. We need to stop playing not to lose. We need to come out that gate and do exactly what we did that second possession in the second half. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, John Mechie got a catch in the game. Nice little out route. Got the first down. And Devontae, it was great to see AJ get his and have a smile on his face and throw that little, give the heart to the crowd. 6 for 109 in the tutty. Smith 8 for 60 with a touchdown. Goddard 1 for 33, and that one turned into a touchdown. I'm happy. I'm happy to see the offense get on the game. And then, what does great offensive possessions translate to? Great defense production. That second half, 0 points after Jalen fumbled, and they scored the next play.
I think 26.
They scored. We scored 26 unanswered. So it's crazy.
Wow.
We scored.
Mm-hmm.
They proceeded to score 26 unanswered. And then we proceeded to go back and do the same exact thing and score 26 unanswered of our own. Matt Stafford, 19 of 33, 196, 2 touchdowns in that interception. Zach Bond. Kyron, 20 carries, 94 yards. Blake Corum, 8 for 53, which obviously is a pretty good stat line. Puka, 11 for 112. Devontae, 3 for 56. Overall hard-fought game. Like we said, we had the 2 big boy Georgia boys. Jalen Carter blocked the first field goal. Then big man JD, Jordan Davis, came in, blocked the second one. I don't know who it was, but after that block, somebody leveled the kicker because the kicker was about to land on the ball. Somebody leveled him.
Yeah.
The big boy picked the ball up and took that 330-pound frame of his 18.5 miles per hour. 330.
He was moving.
330.
He was definitely
and
moving.
he sprinted down that field at 18.5 miles per hour. Now, let's add this into the mix. My man is 6'6", 336, running 18.5 miles down the field. Love to see it. Notable defensive performances. Cooper DeJean, 9 tackles. Jahad Campbell, 8 tackles. Zach Bond, 7. Jordan Davis, 5. Um, that second half really just shows we're the team to beat. We're the team to beat in the NFC. Power ranked number one this week. Um, what are we? 19 games in a row now where Jalen starts and finishes the game. I mean, there's not much more I gotta say. I'll leave that for later since we're still going into recaps. Let's jump into it. Battle of the
What I
backups.
will say
Oh
this.
yeah, yeah. What's your
What I
thoughts? My
will
bad.
say this. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. What I will say is this. What I've been mentioning for the past few weeks, you know, especially when we get into the preview, the Eagles are vulnerable in that secondary, and Stafford did put that on display. You just mentioned Puka that had over 100 yards. Devontae, a great complimentary piece. This is my opinion. He's a little bit older in age, so again, my opinion, a little bit lost of a step, but still was able to contribute in a positive way. And then the running game, you just mentioned Nolan Smith's injury, or I should say the uh, rush defense definitely seems like it took a small hit, letting Kyron almost get 100 yards. Again, we just talked about 26 unanswered points. So when it comes to a team that has a competent quarterback, a competent wide receivers, it's gonna have to be plural. Again, uh, you know, just remember I said that when we talk about our recap,
Okay.
or not recap, our previews. Uh, it has to be multiple. I think the Eagles can definitely get caught off guard if the secondary doesn't tighten up. And then some of these injuries, All Star, my words, All Star Zach Braun, or my
Zach Bond,
apologies
you're
for
right.
messing that last name up, Zach Bond. Him being hurt, we don't know his status. Out of all the three people, Jahad Campbell, him, and Lane Johnson, I feel like his injuries probably tad bit more severe. Not
Not
severe
severe,
like a
but
bad way, but
concerning,
yeah,
because he is
yes,
the leader of the defense.
his
He's
is
the
a lot
captain.
more.
He's the play caller.
Absolutely.
So,
So with that being said, we're gonna see what his timetable is looking like.
well,
All in
Zach Bond's
all,
not on IR.
uh,
Zach Bond's just
no,
questionable. Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not about that, but with a game like this weekend, yeah, you might want him on the field. But
Absolutely.
yeah, all in all, the Rams definitely put up a fight. It was a
They
real
did.
good game.
I'll be honest. That final
Honestly,
kick, that final field goal attempt, they lined it up, and I'm
yeah.
in my living room on my hands and knees. This is gonna be our loss of the season. But
Minus that last miscue. The Rams. We're
the
we're
Ra-
talk, we're talking about a different game here. Not a different game. We're talking about a different outcome. It, without that final miscue, man.
absolutely. Now, could we also attribute it to after the first block, they queued up on, or they honed in on his kick angle and stuff like that, and kind of tried to get in the same position that they were the last time. So, um, but you don't count on blocked field goals. I mean, shit. We barely see one a week, and we had back to back in that game. The Jets blocked one against Tampa Bay and ran it back for a touchdown. Um, why do I feel like there was another blocked field goal late in the early window? I could be wrong, but like it's it was a crazy, crazy week of football. Um, now
Let's talk about the former Eagle. Let's get off the Eagles,
and
current Eagles.
go to the
Let's talk
back,
about the
the battle
former.
of the
Let's talk
backups,
about the former. Yeah, battle of the backups with the former Eagle Carson Wentz
for
and
former
Jake
former
Browning.
MVP leader before
Yeah,
that
my,
injury against who else? The fucking
let me
Rams.
let me put respect on our new starting quarterback's name for at least this
This weekend,
upcoming game.
uh,
Um,
they named
I
him
would like
starter for
I w- this week, of
as
course.
well.
JJ's
Okay,
not ready.
okay.
His ankle's hurt. Um, I mean, I'll talk about that when we talk about the recap. But
or
I
the
keep saying recap. I
preview?
like the
Come
word
on, brother.
recap. I like the word recap. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about Kevin O'Connell's comments about the quarterback position when we talk about the preview. But what I will say is, again, if you guys watched the pod last week, if not, go back to it. I did mention with a more veteran and experienced quarterback at the helm for the Minnesota Vikings,
They can do their thing.
we would see the playbook open up a little bit, and that's what we saw. And man, what a game! Honestly, now I'm not gonna be like, yeah,
Don't be that
our
guy.
offense was on fire. Our offense was on fire. Hold on. I'm not gonna say the Vikings was on fire, crazy, because if you were watching the game, the defense, more specifically Isaiah Rodgers,
Hey,
really
hey,
helped us
hey,
out
hey,
with
wait, can I
two
say one more thing?
INT returns.
The former Eagles balled out for you.
If I stand corrected, I do believe we had Isaiah Rodgers first, and then he went to the Eagles. But it doesn't matter. Yes,
Uh,
finally, because Sam Bradford didn't work for us, and you guys shipped him off to us. He didn't work for us,
he was not.
so yes,
He played
he
three
wasn't.
seasons with the
Who am I
Colts.
thinking of? You know who I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Mike Hughes. My apologies. Uh, um, yeah, he's not even in the league anymore because he was trash. Um, but you know what? Was Isaiah Rogers? I know this is a little bit of a tangent. Was he in one of those betting
Yes,
scandals?
he was. So,
I'm, I'm mixing up players, man. He's a funny guy. But no,
I
that was
believe
that's as far as the tangent I want to go on. I want to
yes. So he
continue down
missed
the
out.
track
So
with
he was
just
on the Eagles in 23 and 24. I think we traded for him in 22. He had to sit out the entire 23 season because of. I believe you are correct in um, a gambling. Um, yes, gambling ban. Yes, it was. So
right.
um, came in, did his thing in the postseason for us.
Isaiah Rogers. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was sad to see him leave, but I'm glad he got his payday. He deserved it. Um,
And he earned his payday.
yes,
Earned it. Like
yes,
I
he
said,
did.
two interceptions returned for a touchdown. One of the interceptions was caused by our veteran leader. I was
No,
happy that he was able to
he had
get
one
back on the
interception.
field. No, he had two. He had two.
No, Joshua Metellus.
No,
He had forced
man,
fumbles.
my apologies, man. He had two turnovers. That's what I'm
Th-
trying to say.
Three
But the
turnovers, two
interception
forced
that
fumbles, and a pick.
man, he balled out. I can't even keep count. But what I will say is Harrison Smith. I'm happy. Favorite white boy in the league. I'm happy. He was injured. Oh man, well Harrison Smith, you guys know him. He long time veteran in the league, man. Like for the last year or two, he's been on the. I don't want to call him himself, but the Minnesota Vikings community is just pondering and wondering, is this the last year? And we've been thinking about that the last year or two. He's getting up there in the age, man. I think he's what, like 13, 14 years in the league. So to see him out there and just actually cause an immediate impact, that's the type of players Brian Flores has on his defense. I mean, we just talked about Isaiah Rogers, man. Our defensive line. Again, it was the Bengals with Jake Browning. Can't put too much stock into it, but it was great to see the team work as a cohesive unit. Carson Wentz. I know you're gonna get into the stats, but Carson Wentz, like I said, man, this is the Kevin O'Connell offense. JJ McCarthy. I'd be a little worried. You know what I mean? Just a little, because Kevin O'Connell doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care about your first
He cares
round
about
pick
winning.
status, cares about the dollar bill, the dotted line, the chance at the Super Bowl run. Yeah, I chose my words carefully because I know I got Eagles peoples around here, but the chance at a Super Bowl run, and it seems like Carson Wentz at this particular time might give us the best opportunity to do so. Bengals defense is trash. And I know you mentioned it. Jamar went into depth about the Bengals defense being trash. Um, you really get exposed when you don't have Joe Burrow and company putting up points on that offense to kind of cover up some of the
The
defensive
trash defensive mistakes.
deficiencies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, man, great win by the
Now,
Vikings, 48-10. Loved it.
I will say Carson didn't necessarily ball out, but he had a very Jalen Hurts esque game. 14 for 20, 173, two touchdowns, and the biggest part is zero interceptions.
That's what I mean by balling out, because he was turnover prone. Eagles, I mean, Colin Eagles fans can tell you that.
Let's take a look. In his career, he's thrown 155 touchdowns and 67 interceptions. 2020, he threw 16 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
2020. Oh, that
That
he
was
was on the Eagles, right?
that was a couple years after the Super Bowl run. Um,
Okay.
I mean,
I'll forgive him for that year.
we can even
You
talk
know,
about
Jalen was
that.
grieving at. Was that? Or no, I'm sorry. I think that was the next year. But go
No,
ahead.
2020 was his last year. Yeah, and then he got shipped off to the
No, I'm saying
Colts.
Jalen. Okay, so all right. So then I am right. So that was Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
In his
Jalen. I
first or
think
second
Jalen
year.
came in
I
and
think
played the
second year.
last 4 games of the season.
So
Um,
I think that was just yeah. So again, that's why he wasn't playing well. He knew his job was at stake. So I think he's matured since then.
no, absolutely. I think he's just come to terms with, you know, once. I mean, we can all agree that that knee injury really messes mental up, and not only that, but then to watch his backup go and win a Super Bowl, that he put us in that position. Um,
Yeah.
like I said, I think that year, I think we were what 11-0. Or no, that was 13. That was to 2017. So that was, I think we were 11-0 or 10-1. Like he was ball. Like I was saying, 3,296 yards in 13 games, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't get much better than that. But on the flip side, Jake Browning, 19 for 27, 140, one touchdown, 2 interceptions. Jordan Mason, great game, 16 rushes, 116 yards.
Yeah, I mean Aaron Jones being out sucks for Aaron Jones, but yeah,
Jordan
Jordan
Mason,
Mason.
step
It was
up and
about
show
that.
him
He was the guy.
why you should be RB1.
It was great that we grabbed him in the offseason. Kevin O'Connell knows what he was doing. Now we got him mainly because we knew we were going to be babysitting a quarterback going through the trials and tribulations of being a first time starter in the NFL, right? But it just so happens to be Jordan Mason's actually kind of nice too. So yeah,
Yes.
we'll take
Where
that.
was
We'll
he?
take that.
He was San Francisco. Yes, he was
Yeah,
backing
no,
up CMC, and then when CMC went down,
we
he
got him and Javon Hargrave from 49ers in the offseason.
another Eagles legend. Damn, bro, y'all want to be the Eagles
Javon
so
Hargrave.
bad.
I don't want to talk about Javon Hargrave. I'm not gonna talk about it. 'Cause I think, I mean, if whatever, I think he might be hurt. I saw he did not participate. But yeah, I mean,
No, he
like I
did.
said, it's better.
Oh, he's
All right,
questionable now. I
good.
think he got hurt during that game. He had one tackle.
No, I'm talking about practice for today. I know he was in the
Oh no,
game,
no,
but
he's
I meant
questionable right now. So yeah, he might have
I'm
gotten
talking about
injured.
did he practice though? Did he practice today? Because I saw
Um,
DMP earlier. That's what I'm talking about. I know he's questionable, but if you're questionable in practice, that's different if you're questionable and you didn't practice. You know, because you're questionable, limited, kind of like Lane Johnson. But he's trending positive. But you know, we're do you got any more comments specifically on the game, like how like what you saw with the
no,
Bengals or what
honestly,
you saw with the
as
Vikings?
obviously you being my brother-in-law and my one of my best friends, both being Vikings fans, I never want to see the Vikings do bad. Glad to see JJ finally broke out a little bit, 5 for 75. No touchdowns, but great game in my opinion. Um, even TJ Hawkinson 5 for 49 with a touch, with a TD. On the flip side, Jamar Chase, he still kind of got his 5 for 50. Um, I think one of the things the Browns need to do is, or the Browns, Jesus, the Bengals need to do is, even with the backup quarterback, you gotta target T. Higgins as well. I mean, 2 targets, 1 catch for 15 yards. I mean, that's just not how you win football games. Holy shit. Oh no. Okay. Um, yeah. The Bengals had 5 total fumbles. I mean, 5 fumbles, but only 3 lost.
That's what
Um,
I'm saying. Our defense, and that's why I was saying earlier, I didn't want to our offense did well. I didn't want to hype them up too much because our
the
defense
defense,
really
the
put
defense did their
pressure
thing
in
too.
that game. Defense put pressure in that game, man. But
I mean,
if
hell, Avon Pace Jr. 12 total tackles, 9 solos.
yeah,
Um,
he's our gem, man. He's our gem.
yeah, I mean, all in all, I think it was just a great performance by um, the Vikings. They rallied behind Carson Wentz and really said, we're not going to let this injury to JJ determine the rest of our season. So,
That's how we rocking and rolling, man.
all in all, I think it was a great game by you guys. I mean, Jesus Christ, your punter punted 5 times for 220 yards. Not a bad day by you guys. Um,
Most def, man. Talk to
I
me about this
no
Lions
no
and
no no
Ravens
no.
game,
I,
man.
I think we'll end with that one. I want to talk about
Oh,
what I
okay.
consider
I like.
potentially the biggest upset of the week.
I mean, before you say the name, you don't think the Panthers beating the Falcons was a bigger upset?
I mean,
I'm just saying before
that
we
was.
mention what the game we're
I
going
mean,
into.
30-0 is definitely a crazy stat line. I mean, I guess
Falcons won
you could also
6 point
potentially say that
favorite.
that Dallas Chicago game was a big upset, but
No, it wasn't because it was a 1 point spread. 1 point spread. It was like damn near evenly matched game.
still, I mean, the Chicago Bears 0-2, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, like you expected
I'm
Dallas to
just saying
go in and win that game, but
it
on
wasn't that
paper,
big of an upset.
um,
But what we're about to talk about was the biggest upset. I just wanted to see your opinions on the Falcons Panthers real quick because we're not really going to talk about them.
it was a 1-1 team versus an 0-2 team. Both I think are still in a rebuild phase. Um, let's talk about that real quick. Actually, going forward, are you a Michael Penix guy, or you think Kirk Cousins should get another shot?
I think I think it just depends on what Raheem Morris, I believe that's the head coach
Mm-hmm.
of the Atlanta Falcons. It depends on what route you want to take your
If
team in.
you're Raheem Morris, which
If
route are
you're
you going?
if I'm Raheem Morris, man, I'm still rocking with Michael Penix because it's still early in the season. You just gotta kind of get comfortable, uh, and allow him to ball out and not force him to do too much. You have a running game with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Use it more effectively. It
Tyler
did
Algier had 1 carry.
again. Use it more effectively. But again, that also is probably due to script because the
They're
Panthers
playing down
came
the
out.
whole time. So I
Panthers
mean,
came out
what do you
firing
want him to
quick.
do?
Um, Panthers, man.
They got a gem in
Uh,
Mr. McMillan.
yeah, they do.
I'm not
They
even
they
gonna try to
really do,
pronounce his
man.
first name because that name is wild.
Like
To
Tatori or something.
to yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but nah, but yeah, I mean, but let's I want to keep on schedule.
Yeah,
That game was fun. Um, Panthers.
the supposed
If you go watch the hold on, if you go watch the first episode I was on, I did say cause remember not the first, maybe it was the second one when you did where the Panthers or like where each
you
team
said they
should
could go
end
up a
up in a
level. I think I had them in
I
the
said they could.
1 to 3
I
or
think you
something
had them
like
like
that,
I think it was 1 to
or
4,
zero to
and
zero to
I
two,
said
0-3.
Something like all I said, I was like, this could be a 6 to 7 win team. Y'all and you guys scoffed at me, and I literally said they got a rookie wide receiver, and I did not say his name because I can't say his name. But so it's like just see it. Bryce, I'm a college football guy. Bryce Young was the most elite when he had a semi decent line, but players to make plays with. So getting players to make plays with Bryce Young is Jason Kidd. Bryce Young is a point guard. Let him dish the rock. You gotta get him some weapons, and that's what they're doing there. But we only talked about this game because I'm trying to
Because
set the
now we're gonna
stage for
segue.
what Colin really wants to talk about what probably was the biggest upset of this week. Go ahead, break it
Because
down for us, man.
I mean, we all know the Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions, but their first two games were a little worrisome for the non-Eagles fans. Because the Eagles started slow and they immediately were like, oh well. Are the Eagles not the team to beat in the NFC? Like, is there actually is somebody else like the powerhouse of the East or the NFC? And a lot of people were like, Green, this team that plays in Wisconsin, their fans like to wear cheese on their head. They got a pretty good team. Well, I'm here to tell you, y'all better check your fucking cookies before you eat them, cause how the fuck you lose to the goddamn Browns? I'm sorry,
We'll break down to
the
it. You
the
got
Joe
the Browns.
Flacco led Browns.
Now, what my boy Colin is really talking about is more about their offense because Browns defense is like top 5, top 10
They're
in
definitely up there in the league.
all advanced metrics, all advanced stats that more or less really matter. So their defense is going to keep them in games moving forward. It's really like how close will it be based on the offense's production or lack thereof.
Which there
So
was a
uh,
lack thereof this week.
and I know Colin when you get into the stats, like if for the people that didn't watch this game or didn't catch any visual aspect of this game, the Packers were leading 10-0, literally up
Until the
with
fourth
4
quarter.
minutes left in the
Yeah.
game. Not even not no, we're not even going to say the fourth quarter because the fourth quarter has 12
Well,
minutes.
just looking at the
With
box
four
score, it
minutes,
says.
with 4 minutes left in the game, they were up 10-0, and Jordan Love throws a pick. So that's when things started getting interesting. So kind of what I'm saying, Browns are always gonna not, and how I'm
Browns
saying it is I'm not
defense
saying Browns is Browns defense is not gonna win them games. I'll say Browns defense is always going to keep them
in
in a
the game.
position where the Browns offense could potentially win the game, and this is what they need
Unless
to
they're
do.
playing the Ravens.
Right.
Because
So
week
BTS.
one,
But
it was a 17-16 game against the Bengals. That's a 1 point game. That game could go either way at the end of it. But
are the Packers are the I know I know I just broke down the Browns defense, but you know I kind of want to piggyback off your intro to this game. Are the Packers fraudulent at all, or was this just the Browns defense being that good?
so here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to pull a page from your book because
Mm,
in one of the first episodes, I believe you said something about um, when the Eagles match up with the Detroit Lions. What's that week? Uh, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 by. We got the bye in week 8. Um, you said we were gonna lose to the Lions, and we can revisit that later on because now with the way the Cowboys season's going, maybe the Eagles won't be looking ahead to the second matchup with them as much as a lot of people believed at the beginning of the season because there were some questions about the Cowboys that maybe they're a 10-win team this year. Maybe they got the pieces to do what they got to do. Um,
right.
I think Micah Parsons may have rallied the team and said, "This is going to be an easy win. Let's look forward to next week when I get to
I get where you're going.
go to
I
Dallas
get,
and
yep,
play my former team and show them why they shouldn't have traded me.
I
I
get where you're
think
going,
that may
man.
have a little bit to do with it. This is probably Micah's biggest game of the year coming up, going back into Dallas and showcasing why he is who he is. Um, at the same time, though, any given week, you gotta play the team you're playing that week, and like you said, that Browns defense is nothing to scoff at. You gotta you gotta go into every game prepared to go toe to toe with whoever's lined up across the line with you. And to me, it looks like the Packers walked into this game and said, easy win. Let's look ahead to next week. Because
Yeah.
even looking at stats, like you said, Josh Jacobs, 16 carries held to 30 yards. 1.9 average
30
yard per
freaking yards.
1.9 average yard per carry.
Absolutely.
That's not winning football, especially not when your quarterback goes 18 for 25 for 183. On the flip side, Joe Flacco 21 for 36, 142. That's nothing to be like, "Oh my god, is Joe Flacco back?" Cuz no, that's nothing to be impressed by. What I will say is there's a guy on that Browns defense or
Running back
Browns
room.
offense that fantasy owners, I'm no expert, but you may want to check to see if he's available. And Mr. Quinshaw Judkins, 18 carries, 94 yards. Now, like I said,
One touchdown.
like I said, isn't that what Micah's for? Isn't that what? I don't even know who else is on their defensive line, but you know, they're supposed to be this pass rush, run stop defense. You're giving up 94 yards to a guy in his third NFL game, a rookie. Now,
Actually, it might be his first. Remember, he had that stuff going on in the summer
oh,
where
correct.
he
This
kind of
is
signed
no
his
2 games,
he
second
signed
game,
his situation late.
second
Two
game. He
games.
played
Yeah, that's
last
what I
week.
said, Mike. Yeah. But this was like his breakout game, though.
I mean,
Something to
last
let
week
you know.
nothing to scoff at either. And I know I keep saying scoff at, but um,
It's a good word.
he rushed, and mind you,
Good
this is
word.
against a very good Ravens defense. 10 carries, 61 yards.
I mean, yeah, that's decent. But when you talk
He
about
actually
94,
averaged.
almost eclipsing 100,
He
like
averaged more last
that's
week.
gonna get people's attention.
But
No,
absolutely,
yeah. But I'm talking about the common fan doesn't really look at yards per average. They
yeah.
just look at
How many
what
yards
that
they
thing
get?
is, and
Yeah.
so, and to your point, I'm saying, or to my point, I feel like this was the breakout game because they also got the win over a team that you kind of mentioned
It was supposed
could
to
have
be a big three.
competed. Who would be the third?
Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. I'm talking
Yeah.
about NFL in general,
No,
not NFC.
oh, got you.
Because last week
Got you.
the top three teams were, I think they had the Packers at number one, the Bills at number two, and then the Eagles at number three. So I mean, in the big three of power rankings, I mean, you don't expect to go out and lose to an 0-2 team. So
Defense, man. Oh yeah, I mean that game just put things in perspective. Again, I want to say I don't want to blame the Packers too much for that loss because after some consideration, I do believe what you said might have played a part. Like we're not in the locker room, we
no.
don't have any team intel for real.
But
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 just being
if we make a
normal sports
blockbuster
fans,
trade,
really,
trade 2 firsts for a guy named Micah Parsons, I mean, he's going to be a voice in that locker room. And if he's like, guys,
exactly. And
we
he's
got to
going
get ready
to
for next
convince
week.
guys to only think about next week, like you mentioned. So that's why maybe they came out flat-footed. So,
But again,
yeah,
also going
man,
up against an 0-2 team when you're 2-0, and week one, 27-13 against another team that was looked at as a powerhouse in the Detroit Lions, and then you have Washington coming to your stadium, and the big hype around JD5, and he had this breakout rookie year. Is he going to do it all again? And you handle them by 9 points. I don't know if I'd say that was easily handled them, but you handled them pretty well. To then go into the 0-2 Browns and to, let's be honest, what most team will look at as a easy win game and look forward to the next week. But time and time again, any given Sunday, you can lose to any given team. So, and again, when you hold what some people will say is potentially the best back in the league, I mean, right now we got to look at Jonathan Taylor and give him his flowers because that man is balling out, and when he's healthy, this is what he does. But in the back in Josh Jacobs, who last year rivaled for the top spot in the NFC of rushers, and I think he did finish top 3 behind only Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. I mean, holding him to 30 yards is a hell of an accomplishment. I don't care who your defense is, but when you hold him to that, Matthew Golden, leading receiver, 4 catches, 52 yards. Again, that's not something you're going to see every single week. And again, also, do we attribute it to there being no why his name is slipping my mind right now. What's their other receiver? Jayden Reed. Can we also attribute it to not having Jayden Reed? Probably, but injuries happen to every team. You gotta always have that next man up mentality, and it just seems like this wasn't that game for them. So I've said about all I need to.
Let's go talk about their rivals then. Their division rivals. Lions.
Lions, Ravens.
Versus the Ravens. I was talking. I'm not. I was thinking about my division rival. Sorry, I was getting in my Vikings bag just now.
Well, no, that's still Green Bay.
Yeah.
All in the same division.
You know, I'm a Vikings fan. I was just getting in my. But we're here to talk about the Ravens.
Lions,
and
Ravens.
And Derrick Henry. Thank you for the fantasy points. At the same time, in real life,
hold on to the fucking ball.
You have a fumbling problem. And that
he's fumbled once a week, right?
Success. Hold on. Yes, he did. But hold on. Let me get my 1 and 2 off real quick. Uninterrupted. Let me just go straight real quick. Derrick Henry, what the hell are you doing? You need to hold on to the rock. You're letting little people punch the ball out. I know your biceps alone weigh 70 pounds. You need to hold that rock because your team is going to live and die off the run game. And if you die off the run game, that means you fumbled the damn ball. And then we're here talking about why can't the Ravens finish? The Ravens should literally not be 1 and 2. In fact, they should probably be 2 and 1. You can argue 3 and 0. But
right, week 1 was a shootout, so you gotta.
That's why I said 2 and 1. Hold on, let me keep going. Listen, the Ravens could not stop the run. They could not stop the run. When you got lightning and thunder going crazy.
Sonic and Knuckles. Get it right. Come on. It's Sonic and Knuckles.
No. You could say whatever you want. You could do Ben and Jerry. You could do Ren and Stimpy. You could do Cat Dog. All I'm saying, you got two machines ready to score at any time. The Ravens couldn't. Now I know Ravens got injuries. You know, everybody, football nerds, I'm not discrediting that. They got injuries. They're waiting for people to come back. But still, it's an NFL game that you were favored in. But then again, the Lions. I know I'm shitting on the Ravens, but the Lions, man, the Lions started off slow, but you can tell he just needed some time to gel with their new coordinators. You know, Ben Johnson, is a head coach.
Coach of Chicago.
Aaron Glenn is a head coach. So like they got new people running the show. So that's why we saw. I know we just talked about the Packers looking immaculate versus the Lions and stuff like that. So man, lost my train of thought. Yeah, Ravens. The Ravens. Because
let's ask the question.
Preview.
Ravens fans. Is it time to panic, or is it time to go with the flow? Because
We'll see after the 1-2 match this week. That's what my take is.
because
That to answer your question, we can't even answer your question until after this week because I think you're throttling the line. If I'm a Ravens fan, if and you ask me that question, I'm throttling the line right now because like we're gonna face another team that's 1-2 that's supposed to be nice in the Chiefs. So we're gonna find out. Because if we win that one, nah, it's not time to panic. But and it's time to go with the flow to answer your question. But if we lose that one, I'm not a
smash the
Ravens fan,
panic
so what do
button.
I know?
I was about to
I'm
say, I
a
don't know why
Ravens
you're
fan.
saying we like you're a Ravens fan, but I'm gonna let you run with
Nah,
it.
I'm just saying.
Um, let's talk about it real quick. Lamar Jackson, 21 of 27, 288, three touchdown passes to go along with 7 carries for 35 yards. Like you said, Derrick Henry had the fumble, 12. Again, I I mentioned this in the last game. You hold Josh Jacobs to 30 yards, you're gonna have a chance at the game. You hold Derrick Henry to 50 yards, you have a very good shot at winning that game. Jumping. Okay, this just pissed me off. The week after I get kicked out of the Guillotine League, Mark Andrews decides to have 6 catches for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Where the fuck was that in the
He
first
did
two
have a
weeks?
really good game.
Piece of
He
shit.
did really have. He had a really good game. I mean, some people were actually maybe annoyed he had a good game because that caused Zay Flowers not to have a good game. Who is wide receiver one? Is it Mark Andrews? Is it Rashad Bateman? They need to figure out the passing game
I,
just a little bit more. I'm talking about long term for the season. Kind of, not kind of what I said about the Eagles, but kind of what I said about the Eagles. Because at the end of the day, everybody in the league is smart. The defensive coordinators, if they know you're a run heavy team, they're going to start making you pass the ball. And if you don't have consistent wide receiver ones, linebackers can cover tight ends. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you need a burner, but you need someone that could, you can throw to on 3rd and 7, that you can throw to on 2nd and 3rd, but it's 15 yards out from the end zone. That you need a tutty like. So that's a concern of mine looking forward. Because Zay Flowers went crazy in the first game, even though they lost. Um, where's that consistency? That's what we're looking for.
I agree. Now, on the flip
Hold
side,
on, real quick, because you're about to talk about stats. Make sure you talk about Lamar getting sacked 7 times. What's going on with the offensive line here, man? 7 times? I, Aiden Hutchinson is nice,
whoa,
man. I'm not gonna lie.
whoa. 7 sacks for negative 55 yards. Defense wins championships. Defense wins games. I did not notice that. I'm glad you brought that up because how do you get sacked 7 times and still get a 148 rating?
Life.
Whatever. On the opposite side, Jared Goff, 20 of 28, 202 yards, 1 passing touchdown, no sacks. Now, what I didn't know about was a guy that I like by the name of David Montgomery had 12 carries for 151 fucking yards and 2 touchdowns to go along with his powerhouse running back duo, Jameer Gibbs, 22 carries, 67 yards, but also 2 touchdowns. Um,
And that's the two yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
uh-huh. And then Mr. I'ma get mine, Amon Ra, St. Brown, 7 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. Um,
But what was Jameis Williams? Because let's
two
talk
for
about him real
43.
quick. Give me stats. 2 for 43. Now, yes, those stats aren't eye popping. But if you looked at what was his targets? How many
Three.
targets did he have?
3 targets.
Three. So
They need to get him
he
more involved. They're winning, but
and they are. If you go look at previous games, they
I think
are.
last
It's
week he
all
had a good
about
game.
situational
Oh
based.
yeah, no, last
He's
week him
he's
and Amon Ra both had over 100.
he's a wide receiver too that we can say has wide
Honestly,
receiver one
they're
potential. And when you have a wide receiver two that has wide receiver one potential, i.e., talking to an Eagles fan, he know what I'm talking about. That's when shit should get lethal. And I like that for the Lions because Jared Goff, and this is my opinion, y'all, but remember, he started off terrible. Like, and I'm not talking about with the Lions. I'm talking about in his career. He was a high.
he was a
I
high
say
draft
high.
pick.
I think he was number one
Two
overall, if
seconds.
not number
Yep.
two.
2016, Round one, pick one.
Thank you for clarifying. Okay,
And
and
you're right. As a St. Louis into a LA Ram, he had
mid, just call it mid.
he
I don't
had
want to say he
people
was
calling for
trash.
his head.
He was mid. He was super mid. But now he's a solidified quarterback. A lot of experience. You got the weapons for him. I just like
To me, real quick, to
you
me, it's
mentioned it.
crazy.
Just
Him and Matt Stafford. Now, Matt Stafford was not necessarily a mid quarterback in Detroit, but
no, he definitely wasn't. He was an all star
they
actually.
they
That was everything
swapped
else.
positions, and all of a sudden they're both balling like it was their job from the beginning. So, good on both of them to get into better situations. And again, I don't know how you don't win a Super Bowl when you have Megatron as one of your receivers, but
That's what I'm saying.
that's
There's a lot
besides
of
the
other
point.
stuff going on, man. We was a little bit younger during them days, so I would have to go into the research to really see why. But just being a football fan, there was a lot of other stuff going on and why they couldn't win, man.
No, absolutely, but
Megatron was getting guarded by three people, still making one-handed catches, man. Like you can't.
insane.
That's not duplicatable. That's not duplicatable. That's not repeatable.
I
Like that's
mean,
just wow plays.
you
No,
kind of
no, no,
you
no,
kind of
no, no,
have
no,
a
no. When
guy
I'm
that
saying that,
is that's not on
yeah,
that level, but
who you
could
trying to
be
compare
talked
to
about
Megatron?
in the same aspect of
Spit it out. Spit it out. Who
double
you trying to
teamed.
compare to Megatron?
You know, some people
Who
call
are you
him one.
trying to
So,
compare to Megatron?
some might call him, um, 1K always open. Doesn't matter if I have two defenders on me, three defenders on me. I'm gonna go up and get mine. And it just so happens that
Yeah.
he wears that midnight green, and wears number 11.
Oh man. Nah, all right. Come on, man. You almost lost credibility here. Don't ever
No, I
compare
did
AJ
not.
Brown to come on.
Stop.
We on the NFL pod. Don't let us lose
Stop.
credibility, man. Let's go to the next game. Man, I thought you was gonna say Justin Jefferson or something. I was like, okay, maybe, but we're
That
not gonna
string
do
bean?
that. We're
Yeah,
not
nah.
gonna compare
Not that string
we're not
bean.
gonna compare nobody to
Oh,
Megatron,
no, we
man.
will.
We not gonna compare
We
to
will.
Megatron. But nah. This is hella disrespectful. What I will say is um get it together, Ravens. Stop fumbling the ball, Derek. And you can't let 4 touchdowns on the ground from lightning and thunder, cat and dog. And what'd you say, Ren and Stimpy?
No,
No, I said Ren
no.
and Stimpy. What'd you call them?
Their
What'd you
nicknames
call
are
them?
Sonic and Knuckles. You got
Yeah,
Jameer
but
Gibbs,
on this
Sonic, the
podcast,
fast guy, and then you got David Montgomery, the guy that's going to run it down your throat and put it in the end zone from the 5, as Knuckles.
it's men in black. So Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, because when you got 4 TDs by top, all right, let me extend it a little bit. Top 10 running backs, yeah, that's a problem. But the Ravens are supposed to
That's
have defense to
interesting.
combat that. So again, the um the injury, like I said, they'll get a little bit better, man. But man, I'm kind of done with these recaps, man. I kind of want to move it along, because we got some juicy games to talk about this week, man.
Listen, man.
Um,
Listen. Baker Mayfield, limited practice
no,
participant due to a
yeah, his
bicep
bicep.
injury.
Yeah, we was gonna talk about all that, man. He's been a little hurt. If you he played last game hurt. He got hurt 2 games ago. But he's a baller, man. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about the game that starts the weekend off. Not Thursday night football. Talking about on Sunday, because we got a
Oh my
9:30
God.
a.m. kickoff in Dublin. The Vikings are taking on the Steelers in Ireland, Dublin, man. The body
Dublin,
clocks are
Ireland.
gonna be crazy.
Dublin, Ireland.
I said
You said
definitely said it
Ireland, Dublin.
backwards. I definitely said it backwards, but guess what? We're in Ireland, but I said Ireland, comma Dublin, Ireland. So technically, I said it all right. I just said it a little bit more elongated than you probably would have. But what I will say is this: what we got the Vikings and Wentz, second chance to see it wasn't a fluke. We got the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, trending upwards with his offense. Um, DK Metcalf. Now that's someone if you want to compare it to Megatron, but
You want
nah,
to
let
know
me
what's
not
funny? You know what's
disrespect Megatron.
wait,
I'm not
wait,
gonna
stop. You want a guy, you want to
I'm gonna
compare the guy that's not even leading his own team in receiving yards to Megatron?
It's how it look. It's how it look, baby. It's not about the stats. It's how it look. And when DK get that ball in his hand, he literally shows why he's a force. But what I will say is this, man. Both teams, and this is my opinion, both teams are probably gonna come out a little slow, man. Um, if it's 9:30. Wait, hold on. You explain it to me. Is it 9:30 over there too?
No, it's
Like, is it
9:30
gonna be like?
here. I think it's like
Yeah.
a
Was
1 o'clock game. Uh,
Colin's looking that up,
it
y'all.
will be.
That's
It's
why
a
that's what
2:30
he's doing.
game for them.
Okay, so their body clock is gonna be a little wonky, right?
Well, no,
So
they're
I do
probably
expect to
already
still
there and getting accustomed to everything. So
just getting accustomed to a new environment, regardless of being a professional, is always going to be. Like I said, it's probably gonna be a little wonky in the beginning, man. I'm a Vikings fan, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. Very, very excited that Jordan Addison will be back. His suspension is over, y'all. Or am I bugging? And this is the man. Is it a
no,
3 game
no,
suspension or four?
I think it's week 5 he comes back. Um,
I'm sick. I'm sick again. I thought it was a
hold
three
on,
game
hold on,
suspension. No,
hold
I think
on.
it is a four. No, I'm thinking it's a four now.
Um,
That would make sense. And why would they let him go to London? Or I said London, Ireland. Why would they
well,
let
no,
him
they
go to
will be
Ireland?
playing in London the following week. No,
No, I know.
no,
He's
3 game
he's
ban. 3 game ban. He's
he
back.
is back. All right, so that's what I thought. Okay, so again, let me go back to my original point. I'm very excited because with Carson Wentz, Justin Jefferson, Jay Jettis already is in groove. If you go back to Wentz's career, he loves his tight ends. So T.J. Hawk and Josh Oliver, they're probably going to be a lot more incorporated into the offense. Now you plug in Jordan Addison, um, not really our gadget piece, but yeah, like our slot guy, our you know what I mean, our crossing route guy. Yeah. I'm really excited. Was it the Steelers secondary? I think that's something. It's going to be a little bit of a test again with the addition of Jordan Addison. That's something that the Vikings are going to be able to handle. Um, I'm more nervous. Like I guess because I'm a DK Metcalf fan too. I'm more nervous about our secondary and how we're going to handle their passing game. Um, I'm not really worried about the run game. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that run game at all. To be honest with you, so I know they're gonna really try to chuck it downfield. So Aaron Rodgers is gonna test our corners. So are we gonna be able to go ahead and answer the call? What you got for me?
Um, to be honest, I'm definitely excited. One, that we have football all day Sunday and it's not just starting at 1 o'clock. Two, I am excited to see Carson Wentz in a second game starting with this offense. You know, your guys' offense isn't nothing to scoff at. Y'all got a hell of a team. Nobody's gonna tell you you don't. Um, I think. Um, I think I'm also interested to see how Jordan Addison comes back in and is how he's in what capacity he's in offensive wise.
Basically, how he flows with the
Yeah,
offense, right? How does he gel? You know, he's been gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So everybody's already got 3 weeks worth of film, worth of conditioning, worth of real live game reps. How does he mesh with the offense, especially with
absolutely.
Carson Wentz? I'm assuming this is first time. Actually, I can't assume that, but I know it hasn't been a long time with him practicing with Carson
No,
Wentz. So
absolutely.
how do they gel? How does the timing go? I do get what you're saying. That's something I'm interested to look for. I guess I just trust in Jordan Addison's athleticism to really overcome any or quirks that may happen
Yeah,
for a player getting his feet wet back into real live game
absolutely.
reps. But third quarter, watch third quarter Jordan Addison touchdown. I'm calling that right now. Give
Okay.
him a half to warm up.
All right. Um, on the other side though, I need to see more out of Rodgers. You know, he's he's up there in age and whatnot, but he's got a team around him, and he's got to spread the ball out. You know, you can't focus on Jalen Warren to both run and catch the ball. Um,
Right.
and I'm excited. Happy to watch a game at 9:30 in the morning instead of having to wait till 1 o'clock. Should be a good weekend of football. I'm excited for this game. Like I said, Carson
Hopefully, I
Wentz.
remember to watch this game. Not gonna lie, I know as a fan, I know it's terrible to hear. Hopefully, I remember to watch this game because I'm a big ass college football fan, and I can't wait till the college football pod. This slate is dummy crazy. I'm gonna be up late as hell. So yes. Hopefully, I remember to wake up, set my alarm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
That was insane timing. I'm not gonna lie. That
I
was
thought
pretty
you
perfect.
oh, so you didn't press a button.
No,
You got a
no, that was my
soundboard.
10 o'clock alarm.
We're gonna get a soundboard soon, y'all. We're gonna. I'm telling you, pipe up. But
Listen,
that was our
when
soundboard.
when
That
I
was
hit
perfect.
the parlay I just put in for this week's slate of games, and win two bands, you know, I'm gonna go out and buy a Steam Deck and get us some soundboard stuff.
There you go. There you go, man. Hey, Colin, man. Let's keep this thing rolling, man. I kind of want to talk about, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Trying to remember, we did our breakdown, our Eagles and Vikings season preview. Did you say the Bucks
This
were
is
potentially the
this
Eagles
is this is the
tonight?
game I picked out to say that we might be getting handed our first loss. Um,
So
however,
with that premise, right, with that foundation, I want you to go ahead and talk about this game. Start, because you did just say, however, I think you might have
my
flipped. So let's talk.
thoughts now, this is going to be a very different game. I read that the Eagles are actually going down to Tampa on Friday to help get accustomed to the higher temperatures, get a couple practices in the heat, and get acclimated to the weather. But the biggest story and the biggest news of why I think this game is going to go differently than I previously projected, there's no Mike Evans in this game.
And the Buccaneers' offensive line is still very weak without their best offensive lineman, Tristan Wills
So,
or Whiffs.
and I believe there was a report today that Chris Godwin was a full participant in practice, but just like with
Yeah,
Jordan
yep.
Addison, how is he going to get back into this offense and work his reps up, work his conditioning up? Because we can say whatever we want, Chris Godwin's Chris Godwin, but coming off of a season-ending, horrible ankle injury, is it 100%? Or is it just good enough for him to get back out on that field and play in a regular game? Um, Now, don't get me wrong, that fucking Egbuka dude, he's gonna get his. But
His name's Emeka Ebuka.
however, he doesn't have Mike Evans lined up across the field from him anymore. It's now
Did you say you might have Chris Godwin?
again
That's
we
what you
do,
just told me.
I don't know what Chris Godwin's gonna give us game one. So with that being said, I do not think this is going to be our first loss anymore. Especially not if we come out the gate throwing the ball like we did in the second half against the Rams. If we go out there to win the game, instead of playing this, we want to play not to lose. Again, also Baker Mayfield, is that arm going to be 100%? Is it going to be what it's been the past 2 weeks? That's another question. Also, is Jalen Carter, is Jordan Davis, is one of them going to get back to him and get a hit on that arm and make it worse than it already is? Because who have they played? The Jets, not really big on defense. The Texans, another team, not really. I don't know how many real pass rushers they have.
Texas defensive line is is pretty
It's
decent.
okay, okay. And the
Yeah,
Falcons,
I'm not. Yeah,
the Falcons just got beat 30-0 against the fucking Panthers. Like,
yeah, they did.
to me, I think this is Baker's first test with a defense that can rush the ball,
Yeah.
rush the pass, stop the run, um, and all in all, just put together a great game. Um,
So to piggyback what you just said, right, or not what you just said, a collection of what you were saying. Um, I'm not gonna give my opinion on a winner, but what I will give you some credit is with Mike Evans being out. Remember, the Eagles is see is their secondary on a consistent basis. So with Mike Evans being out, Baker Mayfield probably not at 100%. Especially, I believe it's his throwing arm.
yeah, it
Y'all can
is
double
right
check.
arm,
I
right
believe
arm.
it's his
Yep.
throwing arm. So I do think that, in my opinion, cripples
That passing game.
the Bucks advantage, Bucks advantage a little bit. And if it cripples your main advantage, not gonna say only main advantage,
Because they still have
then it
Bucky
starts
Irvin running that
bouncing the
ball, and he's
game a
nothing
little
to,
bit.
to laugh at.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It bounces. It's all about edges in sports. If a team can have an edge, they're going to exploit that edge until they make the other team do something. Then the rest of their defense or the rest of their offense can play into pieces. So if the Bucks don't have a 100% quarterback in Baker Mayfield, they don't have that bona fide wide receiver one in Mike Evans, then the
A
expectations to
returning from
exploit
injury.
that.
We game one, Chris Godwin. Again, he was having a career year
So what
last
I'm
year.
saying is, and then and catastrophic injury. So what I'm saying is, honestly, it's the game is a little bit closer than I would have projected as far as like upset potential. Um, so yeah. But don't sleep on that rookie, man.
I'm
Emeka
not.
Ibuka.
He's doing his thing.
Maybe maybe this is exactly what they want. Maybe we're all like, as a sports fans, we're all into this narrative that Baker's hurt, Mike Evans is out, Chris Godwin's coming back, but it's his first game back from that catastrophic injury. Like, obviously, the Eagles just won in exciting
Dominated, yeah,
fashion and
dominated
dramatic
second half
fashion.
action.
In dramatic fashion. So yeah, of course you're gonna carry that momentum. But what if we're missing that Baker Mayfield's a dog, and Baker Mayfield, if you probably ask him, he's probably played maybe 7 games in his whole career, 100% healthy, and he's won a lot more than 7 games. What if that rookie is actually like that good, and he can actually exploit this Eagles secondary? And what if I personally said the Bucks offensive line, because of they're down their best offensive lineman, that they're a little suspect. What if that it doesn't matter because Bucky just hits the hole too quickly and is able to get to the second level consistently? Like, there's a chance here that your original analysis on this game still stands even more because it's a overlook on the injured Buccaneers. So I do want to put that into perspective.
That's fair. Again, I'm not saying we go in there and we blow them out. It's still going to be a great game and probably pretty close. But I think with if the offense performs at where they did the second half of last game, I don't see the Bucks being able to stay toe to toe with them and um do what they do. So um yeah, Trishan Wirfs is questionable. Levante David questionable. They have another offensive tackle questionable. Um, I mean, they say Mike Evans is doubtful, but I'm pretty sure they essentially almost ruled him out already. So, um, yeah, I think that's going to be a great game. It might come down to the wire. All right,
Hell yeah, man.
we gotta
Hell
move
yeah.
hurry this up a little bit.
But the
We're getting close.
man, you ain't saying the verb. Say is this: we're definitely gonna do the the best battle of 1 and 2 last. So what that means, what that means we're gonna go to the other one next, which is the
Packers,
what Colin
Cowboys.
already mentioned a little bit, man. The look ahead spot for the Packers, obviously, because y'all lost to the Browns, man. Yo, so this is what we're gonna do. Let me give my opinion. You're gonna give your opinion, and we're gonna give like a final prediction, because that's how we're gonna like keep this like You know what I
moving.
mean? Streamlined. So bing bang boom, and mine's quick. Yours might be a little bit longer than mine. Packers Cowboys. Um, is this a Jordan Love get right game? Is this a Mike show out game, or is this a we're still America's team Cowboys game? Um, Dak is going to be throwing to his new wide receiver one. Yes, I said new because CeeDee Lamb is expected to be out 3 to 4 weeks with the
Doubtful right
injury he
now, but yeah.
sustained. Nah, doubtful. All right,
No,
so
wait, no, no, no,
I
no.
read
They
three.
no,
It's
they put him on the
three to.
IR. I'm pretty sure. No.
I so so I'm going off what I read. I read 3 to 4 weeks. Definitely not playing for this week. So his new wide receiver one will be George Pickens. Um, can so if you know about Micah Parsons is an all star because he gets to the quarterback. He's not an all star because he stops the run. And so the Cowboys could definitely lean on the run in this game and Javonte Williams and put pressure on that Packers defense that we saw the Browns just do. And Browns theoretically talent level is less, or cohesion wise, team wise, coaching plan, whatever. I know everybody's pros, so you can't really call pro trash, but for the sake of argument, the Browns have a trash team compared to the Cowboys running game. Let's call it running game. So I do expect the Cowboys to actually lean on that running game and test this Packers front seven. But with that being said, we just saw Cowboys secondary, what Caleb Williams did to them, and Jordan Love could do a little
That defense
similar.
is Swiss cheese,
Now,
brother.
again, like I I didn't look at the spreads here. My fault, y'all. So I don't.
Minus six and a
I'm
half
assuming the
Packers.
Packers. I was gonna say I'm assuming the Packers are favored here. Um, Cowboys are home, right?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm tempted to throw down an alternate spread and do the Packers plus or minus 20 and a half, maybe 19 and a half. Because if we see the defense from last week and the game against the Giants, there's no question this Green Bay offense is just going to pick them apart. Um, and like you said, what Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears, who is a much lesser team than the Packers, just did to them. Um, I think Micah gets at least 2, potentially 3 sacks. Um, this game, you're right. This game is going to be have to. This game is going to need to be won on the ground because, well, also the Cowboys are missing, I believe, Tyler Booker, their rookie guard or maybe second year guard. I think there's just holes on that offensive line, and Micah Parsons is going to exploit that. Um, I mean, you also have defensive end. I don't know what his first name is, but I'm looking at it right now. Rashawn Gary, 4.5 sacks on the season already. You line that up across the line from Micah Parsons, and that's going to be a long game for Dak. I don't think he runs like he did against the Eagles and get out of the pocket and move. All in all, I just think this is going to be a very, I want to say unfortunate for the Cowboys fans, but not for me because fuck Dallas. It's going to be a very long day for that Dallas defense. I think Josh Jacobs eclipsed 100 yards. I think they probably get 2 receivers with over 75 receiving yards. Honestly, I could see Jordan Love throwing for 400 this game. Am I going to put a bet on that? Absolutely not. But we've seen Dallas' secondary matchup against these teams, and it's not what it was last year. Trayvon Diggs is not the player he once was. I know Deron Bland has been out, and I think they said he comes back this week. But again, you're plugging him into this defense 3 weeks into the season, going up against one of the powerhouses of the NFC. This just doesn't look like a good game on paper for Dallas, and that's not coming from an Eagles fan. That's coming from somebody who's watched football his entire life and is a huge football fan. Is there some bias in there? Maybe a little bit, but this they just got beat 34-10 against the Chicago Bears, and now they're going up against a high-powered offense in Green Bay. I don't see it happening. So, with that being said, I don't know. DaRon Bland is questionable. Bridges is questionable. Shit, even Diggs is questionable. They got 3 cornerbacks questionable for this game. Like, it's
Yeah, man. And I think this is the Packers spot. I think that's what we're gonna go as an official
absolutely
pod bet, man. Packers smash spot, man. Um, but
battle of the one and
with that
twos.
being said, man,
Battle of the
yeah,
one and
man.
twos. Probably 100% the most 2 unexpected 1 and 2 starts to the season, and that is the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Take it away. Let me hear what you got.
What I'll say is this, man. Let me just. I don't want to say talk my shit. 'Cause there's nothing on my. Derrick Henry, don't fumble the damn ball.
Derek, tuck that ball and don't
That's my
fucking let it go.
that's my analysis for this, man. But for real though. Now the Ravens, no, but the Chiefs, we did say there was
The
a chance they could go. I said
0 and
one and
4.
three because I personally said 1 and 3. I said 1 and 3. I knew they was gonna beat the Giants, but I was like, if they don't beat the Chargers, then
We
there's
have
a
some
chance they
questions.
go 1 and 3. Because I was giving Ravens this win, but that was contingent on Ravens balling out,
But
taking care of what they needed to take care of.
one
They
thing I gotta
also
put in.
haven't taken care of what they're taking care of. Hold on, you got your time. Let me get my time. You're taken care of. So again, the Ravens here, they need this. And I will argue they need this more than the Chiefs, right? Because the Chiefs don't have their full sleep. There's people hurt and there's people suspended. Ravens are full go and you're 1 and 2 and you're missing a sign. Your top 3 running back is fumbling and your coach is taking off the gas when you know you're playing Josh Allen, and even Josh, and being up on Josh Allen by 15 points is not enough. Like, you need to keep going, and you didn't. So it's like they need this game, because if they lose this game, Ravens are not going to the playoffs. And I don't care if that's a bold take or not. This game is literally,
I agree.
uh,
We
Chiefs could
talked
lose this
about
game.
it. Panic time.
Lose this game and still. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have you re-ask your question after I finish this sentence, man. Chiefs could lose this game, in my opinion, and still make it to the playoffs, because they're a team that gets it together later in the season anyway. Ravens are start to finish regular season, finish on go mode. This is their full effort. And that should cause some concern. And why? Ask the question. No,
After
or
if
not.
the
I'm not.
Ravens
That's
lose
not.
this
That
game,
was a bad segue, y'all.
if the Ravens lose this
But go ahead.
game, is it time to smash the panic button?
Now I have an answer after a little bit of the analysis. Yes, because they are trying, and if you're trying and you're failing and you're not executing, and it's a dumb penalties, because they are getting penalized, dumb penalties, um uh soft coaching. And when I mean soft coaching, you're conservative coaching. In spots where you should probably be aggressive, in spots where you're facing an all-star and you shouldn't let up to a degree where they could get that close to win the game, which the Bills did. Um, who else? Didn't somebody else just do it on them too? Uh, uh, Whatever.
No, the the,
Anyway,
the Lions. We just talked about it. The Lions came
yeah.
back in
I
the
mean, but
fourth.
exactly, man. So a few key points I would like to do. Um, like I mentioned earlier, Ravens still have a lot of pieces in the front seven that are still injured. So can KC, and I don't know if they can, because KC's running game hasn't really been doing
That's
anything these
that's
last
the
few
that's the
games.
point I wanted to
But
bring up to you, but I'll let you go.
but is that something they will be able to exploit? Again, like I said, when it comes to sports, as a coach, before you can say what you guys can do as a team, look at the other team is what can you exploit? What's their weakness? Once you identify their weakness, that's when you look at your team and say, what can my team do to take advantage of that weakness? And can KC take advantage of a weak, uh, limited front seven because Isaiah Pachenko, Kareem Hunt haven't really been doing all that much on the ground.
Yeah, you know who has?
Again,
Patrick Mahomes, who's our leading rusher with 125 fucking yards. That's that's not gonna fly against the
that's also
Ravens.
different.
That's not
That's
gonna fly
different
against the
though.
Ravens.
Kind of like seeing him run the ball though. When your quarterback runs the ball, it shows they got grit. You know what I mean? In my opinion,
Or that he has no other options
or
and nobody's open downfield and he has to take off of the ball. Because let me say
in his
they're
case, it's a
they're
little bit of that.
they're not quarterback designed runs. They're I'm looking for an open receiver. I can't find anybody. I'm gonna scramble and run for 30 yards. That's what he's doing. He's not. It's not a Jalen Hurts situation. I hate the. It's not a Jalen or Lamar situation where they design runs for their quarterbacks. This is, oh my God, my team, my offense is ass right now. I need to run the ball. So to me, that's why I don't see the Chiefs winning this game because Patrick Mahomes can't keep up with having to be the main ball carrier. Now again,
And for everybody out there, Ravens covered the tight end pretty well at a high rate. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, with the way
They,
Kelsey's looked, I don't even think that's a problem.
mm,
Now, what I will say is, it is looking like the Chiefs will be getting back Xavier Worthy this week. How big of an impact that's going to be without Rashee Rice um, and Travis Kelsey's current performance so far this season? Could it open up a little more room for Travis Kelsey to be Travis Kelsey? Possibly. Um, but again, like you mentioned, that running game is not what it's been. And we see what happened with teams who rely on the run too much and say, we don't need to throw the ball. We have this running back that can run for 2K a year or 2K on the season and lead us to some victories. I I personally think this is the week that the Ravens get it figured out, lock it in, and this could be the blowout of the season for them. Um,
it's just, my fault,
no, you're good.
my fault, brother. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your thought, because I do want to
I don't really know where I was
run
gonna
through
go
it.
with it after that. So take it away for a minute. Let me get thoughts together.
Well, no, I just wanted to wrap it up and say it's very crazy that because when I was saying it, I was just saying the possibility. It's just very crazy. Chiefs may be starting 1-3 to
Uh,
start their season.
and on the
That's
flip
all I
side,
wanted to finish with.
even crazier is the Baltimore Ravens could begin their season 1-3. Like, who the fuck had
Yeah,
that in their forecast for this season? I sure didn't. Honestly, at this point, I thought the Ravens were 3-0 coming into this game. And did I also think that the Los Angeles Chargers were going to be 3-0 coming into this week? No, because fucking they got that dude at quarterback, that Justin Herbert. There we go. He was almost labeled as that quarterback for this segment. But, the, and at the same time, did we expect Denver to be a 1-2 team and be in a three-way tie for second place in that division? Not the way we were talking
yeah.
about Bo Nix.
Sophomore year slump definitely did not take that into consideration. I'm a Bo Nix fan, so I'm always gonna be a little biased. But yeah, that's
So
what's going on right now.
I became a Bo Nix
Sophomore
fan
year
at the end
slump.
of last season, watching him make that push for the playoffs. Like it, there's a lot of things that I didn't see happening this year. Did I see the Cowboys at a 1-2 start and shit almost losing to the Giants in OT with after picking up George Pickens? Now, given that trade of Micah Parsons again does a big deal to your team, but listen, Jerry, I hate to say this, but Jerry needs to get up out of there because, to be honest, when that happens, I think the Cowboys are going to be a whole new team. But with that, I think that's where we call it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning
Yes,
in to
indeed.
another week of the Dad Sports Podcast. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. Fuck it, we don't care. A view is a view. Um, Go Birds, go Vikes, go Wentz. on to the next episode. Later.